Hi, welcome back to Ridgehaven Homestead, off-grid living, and everything else in between. This is a true day in the life. I'm going to try to capture a few things that we do. No day is the same. Today, I've just sent my husband off to work, got his lunch packed, got everything in there, and I am finishing up my breakfast. I'm trying something which I haven't done for a while, and I'm trying it in a different way, so I'm not sure if it's going to work. But I am making some yogurt, plant-based yogurt today, and I'm making it, I'm using the silk. This is the aseptic box. It's not refrigerated until you open it, and I have done this before with the silk soy. I like to use the soy because it's higher protein than like almond milk. And in the past, I have used 4 capsules of probiotics, and I've always used Jigsaw in the past, which has like a certain blend of, I believe, 5 strains, 30 billion colony forming units, CFUs per pill. And so that's a pretty strong probiotic. I have a different variety of probiotic that I've just started taking. It's a woman's probiotic, and as usually, it doesn't focus. This is Renew Life Women's Wellness Women's Care Probiotic, and it has 25 billion CFUs, and there's a lot more strains, and I don't know if that will make a difference or not. I put 4 capsules in. I basically open this from scratch, and I don't heat it yet. I heat it once I put the probiotics in, so I'm gonna have to prop this phone up and do this and then come back. Okay, this is real life. The camper is kind of a mess like mornings are, and I am trying to put these in here. We have a little bit of a bumpy start because we have one kid down sick, and I was kind of feeling under the weather last night. I think it might have been from inhaling too much of that polyurethane. Every 3 out of 4 of us, when we've been working with that polyurethane for floors, after we've used it, we get flu-like symptoms or cold-like symptoms. I had a massive headache, a huge headache, and just felt like I was dragging, and I had been polyurethaning the day before, and then yesterday I was doing polyacrylic, which does not have much of an odor, and I kicked the bucket of polyurethane that we had for the floors, and it spilled all over. And so all that, I was trying to avoid the smell of that, to let it dissipate from the house. I had to clean it up, and so I had to be exposed to it anyway. Okay, so all I've done is put 4 of the capsules into this silk soy milk, and I get this at a co-op deal, so it's a better deal than when I get it on the off the grocery shelf, but you can get it anywhere. This is unsweetened organic. And now all I'm gonna do is, I have my oven with the pilot on. That, since I'm in the camper, the oven is small. It's only like, not this, but I would say like 24 inches by maybe 18 inches tall. So the pilot light warms it up quite a bit, and it provides an optimal temperature for this culturing. So I'm gonna leave this in there, and I learned this technique from a friend. I also do vegan yogurt in a pan where I will heat the milk. Basically, here's my gauge. I heat it till it's steaming, turn it off, let it cool until I can comfortably put my finger in, but where it's not cooled off that much. So if it burns your finger, it's gonna burn the culture. So anyway, and then after I add the culture to that, then I usually either put it in the oven with the pilot, wrap it in a thick towel. You just have to keep it at an optimal temperature. So I'm putting this in the oven now, and my oven, make sure the pilot is still on. Yeah. The pilot is still on, but I had just lit it, so I'm going to leave that in there for 8-10 hours, and I'll check on it here and there. A lot of times I will make this in the evening and then it's ready in the morning. Only nobody likes to eat warm yogurt. That's kind of gross. So this is better. It's maybe 8:30 in the morning. I'm gonna let this go through the day and then I can refrigerate it overnight. Keeping my fingers crossed that it will work. Like I said, this strain, I don't know about all these strains in here. Sometimes the logic is the more the better, but I don't always know this. I'm trying this for myself just because probiotics are such a good thing for our health. So let's see how this works. And today on the horizon, we have unloading a truck of some lumber that we brought back. We brought the walnut for the trim, for the window trim. We had to get some wider walnut because our windows are like 10 inches. And then I'm talking about the window sills are 10 inches. It's a lot of place for a cat. So we have that. I need to go check on Andrew because he had an earache last night and I need to see if I need to take him into urgent care, but he has not emerged. And so Adam told me that he had been moaning through the night. And so because I was also kind of down, I wasn't aware of any of this. And so yeah, several of us down at once. Doesn't work very well, but that's just sometimes what happens. So unload the lumber, check on Andrew, see if we have to take him in, clean up my kitchen, and then I'm planning to, if I don't have to take Andrew in, I'm going to be putting more coats of polyacrylic on walls. There's just always more of that. I have a shelf that I need to stain and finish. We'll see if we get to that today. There's lots of things in life. Working around all the cats and the kittens and just part of life. So let's see what this day holds, if it's boring or if it's full of adventure. First things first, I got the laundry out of the dryer, which has a malfunction. So I had the serviceman called yesterday and today, and in the meantime, we are doing it the old-fashioned way, and it doesn't hold a lot. Yeah, sorry to gross you out, but this does not look good. The valves came in for my stove and I had it in mind to work on that today, but that's gonna have to wait another day or two until we can have things smoothing out a little bit. We debated on what to do first, but once Andrew was ready, we hopped in the car and hung out for a while at urgent care while they examined him, determined what was wrong, and then we had to spend some time getting prescriptions filled, which ended up taking a good half of the day. Once we finally got back home, we tried to figure out a few things that Andrew could eat, but he just had no desire because everything hurt his ear too much to chew and swallow. So he got settled in for a nice nap, and thankfully Chucky came to keep him company. Once Andrew was nice and settled, Adam and I were basically back in the salt mines. We had to unload that whole truck of walnut, and so we had to stack it. Adam did most of the work while I sticked it, and it stacked up pretty fast. It's going to be really nice. We put it in there to dry. Once the moisture gets to the proper level, we will plane this and then use it for window sill trim and anything else where we need wide planks of lumber. What a day we've had. So we took my middle child to the doctor. It turns out he does not have a perforated eardrum, but he does have an external and a middle ear infection. So he's been really miserable. Right now we are focusing on getting the throbbing out of his head. So he's in the tub with a cool cloth on his head, which really does wonders if you have any kind of head congestion, which he is full of. Congestion, ear congestion especially. So he was really having a hard time, so miserable, can't even sleep because of the pain. So he's in the tub, and I'm taking a few minutes to tackle a job in our shop, which is our storage area for all of our household things while we're building. I'm taking a moment to do a job that I've been meaning to do for a long time. Okay, we have a lot of garlic that we have stored over the winter, and some of it's not doing too well, so I'm going to use it up right away. But I'm just chopping off the stalks and separating it. So some of them have hard stalks. I believe that we planted 4 varieties of garlic, but we're just kind of trying to salvage what we can. So I'm separating the hard ones and putting them into a separate bag. And then the soft stalked ones, I am putting in a separate container. And some of them have started to sprout a little. Ten hours later, here I am back again where I started the day, still with the same dishes in my sink, which I'm going to tackle right now. I am making tea for Andrew because that's all he felt like he could handle right now. So we're going to do some lemon verbena that I got from my garden in the summer, and holy basil tea. Holy basil is a really good adaptogen, and it's soothing and it tastes good too. So, holy basil. And we've been running all day. Several hours at urgent care, or back and forth between urgent care. Stopping to do a quick job on the way, waiting for prescriptions, and then I don't think anything on my list got done today. Honestly, it's one of those days. Things always take longer when you have to go to town and we have to do something medical. We had a lot of running around to do, but they did diagnose Andrew, and he is in a lot of pain still, and so I just hate it. I hate it. He's been really suffering. He got in the tub this evening, and that helped for a while until he got out, and now his head is throbbing again and his ear is throbbing. So, ugh. Ear infection is no joke. We think about ear infections with the little kids, but big kids and adults, it hurts when we get them too. I've been reading historical books, and they're always talking about stew and biscuits, and so I've had this hankering for biscuits, and so I am going to make myself a small batch of biscuits. I'm going to make them healthy. I'm going to use this oat flour, and it's just ground up oats, really fine. So I'm gonna make some biscuits and I'm going to eat them. And I don't usually do this in the evening, but it's been a long day. So biscuits it will be. Tea is going in. I'm gonna wash these dishes and then I'm probably gonna sit down. We got back from town from doing all those errands, and there was only barely enough time, and not even quite enough time, to unload the truck of a lot of wood that we needed to get off of that truck so that Greg could have his work truck. So Adam and I did that. Andrew was not up to that. He had too much pressure in his head. Any kind of movement is hurting him. And so I really didn't do a lot. I just placed the sticks between the wood, and Adam did a lot of the work. So that's good to have that in the dry, and that will be getting processed soon. And then Adam left for Pathfinders, and I decided to stay here. I usually go, but Andrew was just miserable, so I stayed to nurse him, and yeah, here we are. What a day. It's not a typical day. We usually don't have sick people, but yeah, everything stops when somebody is sick. So I'm going to get on these dishes. Oh, my tea is boiling, and my water is boiling for the tea. That's good. So I'm going to make it kind of strong. I'm going to do half holy basil leaves and half lemon verbena. Here we go with the holy basil. The holy basil is really delicious. And actually, the lemon verbena is too. It's very smooth, and it seems to almost have a hint of vanilla to it. So I'm just going to pour some out. I'm not really going to measure it. I'm going to make a whole quart because this is what he's going to sip through the night, I have a feeling. And hopefully he'll be feeling better by tomorrow. Oh, one more thing we have to check, and that is yogurt. So that's been probably 9 or so hours in the oven. And I want to crank up my oven, and I don't want to cook it. Okay, so I apparently have something going on here. I have bubbles. It's not hot. It's just the reaction from my yogurt. Okay, so this is with the pilot. So let's see what we have here. I have a feeling it's successful. It smells yogurty. Pour it out. It's not super thick. And a lot of times when you do homemade yogurt, you do have to strain it. So just keep that in mind. Curds and whey. Now is the time to tell the truth. Sometimes it's sour when you make it from scratch. So let's, if I have a face, you'll know why. It's not too sour. It's actually pretty creamy. A lot of times I sweeten with stevia, which I will do. Okay, not too bad. Oh, my lid did not handle it. That's okay. I might store it in the fridge like that, or I might put it into something else. I haven't made yogurt for so long, and I've really kind of been needing to. So I'm adding just a little bit of stevia. This is the stevia that I get in bulk from Amazon. It's from CC Nature is the brand, and it's the best stevia that I've tried. It's not bitter. I get like this is I get 8 ounces at a time, and yes, it's pricey, but that'll last me for probably a year. I don't know, it depends how much I use it. Let's try it. Whoopee. Oh, too much. Too much stevia. You can get too much stevia, and it's not too good. But, ooh, yeah, it was a lot. So this would be good with a little dollop of jam in it. Sometimes I put vanilla. That's really good. I don't know. I don't get too fancy. Granola. That's actually quite good. I like it. It's not as strong and sour as sometimes. Okay, so that's a win. I did 4 capsules of that Women's Blend probiotic in 1 quart, and that was about 9 hours. No, let's see, what was it, 8:30? Now it's about 7:30, so that was about 11 hours in the oven, just with the pilot. So very good. I'm happy about that, and I ate it all. Ate all my yogurt. I only gave myself a little. Okay, my tea is brewing, and let's get those biscuits going. Here is the tea. I need to put a lid on there, but it happens to be dirty. So that's one of the first things I'm gonna wash. I didn't mention it in this video, but if you're wondering why in the world would I make my own yogurt when I can get vegan yogurt at the store? Well, there's several reasons. And there's 2 main reasons, and I think that they're equally what I feel about it. For one thing, vegan yogurt is, the last time I checked, it's almost $2 a tub. Like, occasionally you can get it on sale for $1.59 or something for 8 ounces. So there's that. And I mean, you can get a bigger one. But it's hard to find vegan yogurt that's not really sweet, and I really prefer it not sweet too much. So that's the main reason. I don't want like 18 grams of sugar in 1 cup of yogurt, and so that's my main reason. I can adjust the amount of sweetening that I put in, and I can control the cost of it. So that's my main reason, and now you know. As things go, if you're nursing sick people, a lot of times you end up getting it. So I woke up today after nursing Andrew into the night several times with the headache that I have been trying to fight off. So I think it's that sick headache. That's how his started. Trying to just take it easy today. Anyway, I came across my yogurt in the fridge. I thought that even though I slept in quite a bit today, I was just gonna eat some yogurt. But then I decided, since this is kind of my breakfast and lunch combo, I would turn this into a protein shake. So I have my yogurt that I made. I have some protein powder, and I'm using the organic superfood protein powder. I really kind of like this because it helps you to boost up your protein, and it gives you a lot of vitamins. And this happens to have the 50 superfoods in it too, so and no sugar. It's not an advertisement, it's just one more thing you can do with your yogurt. So I'm adding a banana to it, and if I had a frozen banana, I would prefer that, but I don't. I've added my banana, and I may add just a dollop of peanut butter. It seems to kind of help take the chalkiness out of the flavor of the protein powder. So yeah. Okay, so now I have a smoothie. This little blender thing I picked up when I was helping with my dad, and it works pretty well for if you just want a personal size, but look, it doesn't get everything. And I almost always find that I do have chunks of banana in the bottom, so it's not as smooth as my Vitamix, but when I just want to do one portion, I don't want to get the Vitamix all dirty. So this works for, we use it, the boys use it a lot for their protein shakes. That turned out pretty good. Yeah, pretty good. I can taste the yogurt a little bit, so I would actually, I think, prefer it without the yogurt. It gives it a little bit of a tang that I like, but don't always want in my protein drink. Let's add some flax seeds to this for the omega-3s. I get them ground. I know it's best if you get them and grind them yourself, and sometimes I do that, but sometimes convenience wins, and I just buy them ground. Well, that's a wrap. Basically 24 hours in less than 24 minutes, and we are on the mend. We are just trusting that one day at a time, the Lord will provide for us, protect us, and bring us all back to health. Have a blessed day. God bless.